And welcome back to VCT Verizon Game Changers, where CLG are currently one map up against TSM in this lower bracket. Best of three. I'm Yingsu, and I'm joined by Miss Harvey and Evil Cat. Right off the bat, Steph, that was a completely different team we saw from CLG. How impressed were you with their turnaround?
It was quite quick, I'm not gonna lie. I did not expect that game to be that one-sided. I thought we were gonna see a nail-biter up until the end, but CLG really capitalizing on these trades and on the fact that TSM not only never really found their groove, but they stayed so slow so that CLG was able to just like go into what they've been used to in practice and really show up today in the server.
Yeah, I mean, I think that CLG, besides just playing really well, because their individuals were popping off, they were doing great things, but I think also TSM played right into them. They did that wasn't the normal TSM. That wasn't the aggressive, like kind of crazy, unexpected, wild TSM we know. That was a TSM that was playing scared. That was not ready for what came up against them, and who played directly into CLG's hands. And CLG, I mean, as we saw, they dominantly took it. The only round TSM were winning was the pistols and the clutches. That was it. That was all they had.
Yeah, well, Mimi, was having so much fun too. And like I have to say, Inzu, she was getting all the picks across the map everywhere, and that was really hurting TSM.
Yeah, it was. She really showed up there like we kind of expected her to, right? Just not against Moon Raccoons as much. But Mimi, looking at Split, because this is what, the second time CLG have played Split in the space of like 3 hours, 2 hours, if that. What would you say was the biggest difference for you between this map and the map we saw before from the CLG team?
I think it was because they felt comfortable against TSM's playstyle. TSM, well, the Moon Raccoons, if we recall that game, the Moon Raccoons just kind of like held W a little bit sometimes and were just very chaotic. I mean, we even heard from Lori that they were having fun with it. They were going wild, they were just flowing and having fun with it, and that didn't feel like the same that we saw from TSM. TSM was subdued. They didn't have the same impact that we saw from the Moon Raccoons, and that's CLG's strong suit. When you play slow, that's where they thrive.
Wow, look at Animals Battle Sage 5.
Oh my God, 5.0
KT8, that's insane. And combat score is so high. This was her map. This was her game. She showed up. I'm sure CLG is really happy they picked Animal to be their fifth, because look at that. She's the perfect addition right now at the moment with the way CLG is playing, and they all adapted to her being the Sage. And she really was just holding her own, really showing that, she might be streaming a lot because she is on the grind when she streams. It's paying off because she is also at 5.0 KDA. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, that is the exact type of player you want on your team, especially when they had a little bit of a tough time earlier. I'm really pleased and impressed with how they've managed to turn this around, but we just need to quickly move on to Icebox, because that is the next map coming up. And Mimi, we spoke about this briefly beforehand. Do you feel like this is going to be a little bit easier for TSM to sort of get back into the game?
I don't know if easier is the right word, because CLG is an okay Icebox team. Like, they do well at it, but I think the X factor here for TSM is if they're going to pull Viper out again. You talked about it a little bit, in that Ari, when she plays that character, their post plans are so strong, their setups are so strong, that creativity is bubbling, and that's what was lacking this game. If they can pull something like that out, if they can pull a wild card, I think there's a chance for them to still come into it. But if they keep playing how they're playing, if they keep being slow, being scared, there's very little shot for them.
And I know that maybe you mentioned how Icebox is a more puggy style map and could favor TSM, but the way that CLG played Icebox versus OA yesterday is so dominant. They're coming in extremely confident. This is on paper the best map that they played this weekend. The only map that was so one-sided. So I'm really looking forward to this.
Well, I've already spotted that Viper, so I am ecstatic. But TSM have to win this if they want to stay in the competition. Over to you, Mimi and Steph.
Yeah, Thank you so much. Look at the agent select. I'm very, very, very excited, Steph, because not only do we get the treat of Ari on the Viper, we also get Zoe playing Skye, and if they're playing that very hallmark Valorant style, something you can't do in another game, where you're using these characters to their full potential and you are in control, I think TSM could do this, but I mean, like we keep saying, it's going to be a tough one.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one. And it does. I don't think CLG is really used to playing versus a Sky Viper agent setup. So I'm interested to see how it's going to turn out. But at the same time, I didn't really see Zoe so strong with the Sky yesterday. So I'm still excited. Still really excited to see this mashup, and we're going to be jumping right away. VALORANT waits for no one. It's right away into the game. So we are at map number 2, CLG Red versus TSM. CLG up by 1, and they're going to be starting on the attacking side this time around, while Ariana is making a really big push here onto the spawn, utilizing Sky's ability and fighting CLG up in the opposite side of the map and getting 3 kills out of it.
Yeah, that's huge from TSM, starting off strong. They're good at pistols, but this is impressive. They're continuing to press the advantage, but these players from CLG are so boxed in. There's a Sage on one side, locking them in, and Athena's there as well, soon with support from Ari, and this push is continuing to come up. Look at that Viper wall as well. This continues to cut them in, allows TSM to cut the angles even closer, and they make it flawless. Ari finding 3 in the round. The Viper play there was exceptional.
They read our mind. They read our mind. We said that they cannot let CLG play their game. They have to go aggro. They have to loosen up. And right away, starting with that A push, there's no way CLG Red expect the TSM player to be peeking that deep. And not only 1, 3 of them utilizing great utility usage coming out of it. And this was a clean, fast-paced round, and it could dictate that CT side, that defender side for TSM. Is CLG is not careful.
Yeah, it could be a tough one, and they are going quick for CLG. Up into mid, Bonita charging below the tube, a frenzy in hand. She wants to fight Athena. Athena is not quite ready for it, so CLG, they pick up 2. The wall ready for the plant. This is clearly a set play. This is something they've planned. They're ready for, and now they have a good advantage.
And they know that Ari usually plays where she is right now, so let's see if they can capitalize on that intel. But Bonita, you know, they're just giving up all of B main, and it's working out, getting control of that kitchen here and fighting towards the tube, under it, inside of it. Seems to be paying off as Zoe is trying to get her fight of her own. Everybody falls, and CLG winning flawlessly this second round. It's 1-1, but what an impressive set play, as you mentioned.
I mean, that was an ego step. How did they even manage that?
It was just, you know, I know what to do here. Follow me, girls. Let me utilize my Reina abilities and let's just swarm in that kitchen. Honestly, Athena dying here, it seems like she got caught off our guard. Like, she didn't even shot once and she fell.
No. Yeah, I mean, I think that's what lost them the round off the rip, in that they lost a player so early, and then that was guns recovered. It's the snowball effect. And where else would we find it but Icebox? Athena has a Bucky, great shot, that perfect 8 meters to find the one tap onto Bonita. Now TSM, they have Vantage. I love the setup here with 1 on top, 1 on the bottom. Kath trying to bait in from the one down below. And you talked about how flexible Kath is. She played like Sage before. Now she's on a Jet. What a difference. Yeah,
as I mentioned, I really think she's, although she's the core of TSM, I'm pretty sure they built the team around her. She is flexing. She's playing whatever TSM needs because she can do a little bit of everything. And I think that, you know, at some point it's really going to pay off for TSM, because to have a player like Kat be able to play so many agents here can be key. But CLG is going to get the plant. Spike is down and Shobo gets the double, utilizing Bonita's, her own recon, actually. Scratch that. Shobo taking the Sova out of Benny also confused me a little bit. But
I know.
You know, these players, they can do whatever right now.
Yeah, it's into a 3-on-3 here. The wall keeps one side, one rope off limits for TSM. They want to fight into this, but Naomi has that first frag onto Ari, but the Bucky from Athena still finds one. Chobo's up above, finds the first frag, and Naomi cleans up shop CLG. They convert that kind of, it was a bonus and then the force up for TSM, and they'll do it to find the second.
It wasn't that clean, but Chobo really saving the day here with all of her kills. CLG is going to keep these SMGs, even a pistol, and they're going to go ahead and fight more pistols. Little scrappy buy across the board. Really interesting. I can't wait to see this round. How is it going to turn out? What is TSM going to do with this weaponry, and what is CLG going to do with theirs? This is an exciting situation to be in as an observer.
Yeah, and now they're gonna really quickly push up here. Cloudburst falls. Kath finds one with the Sheriff, but the blind's good. Animal regaining the space. TSM is forced to fall away, and Animal falls off the line before she can do anything. Athena, she's been so good with the Bucky to find these shots on these close angles. Now she might have to do it again. TSM in a good position. Even better as Kath finds that one bullet, all she needs. And CLG, they're a little fractured here, Steph.
Yeah, and Rise is gonna have to make a play here against Kat, because if she falls, Kat gets the triple. It's all in the end of Animal, and she is low. She's gonna be waiting for her heals to come. She really cannot do anything here. If anything, drop a couple of players, maybe. That's what we would like to see, as her heal is giving her back some HP. But like I said, this was a really interesting round, one that's gonna go in favor of TSM. You know, I wouldn't bet on Animal at this point, although she's been playing great. This is a really tough spot to be in.
It really is. CLG, they seem to have been pushed up against the wall together, and everyone fell individually. Now Animal trying to fake out the rope there. They heard her drop, and they're ready. What an impact from Kath.
Yeah, Kat is really showing today. She's a totally different player than yesterday, especially right now with the 4K into this really scrappy buy. It's going to keep TSM in this game. It's 2-2. And it's a little bit of a back and forth affair, as TSM winning the first, CLG following, back and forth. But this time, it's going to be a gun round all over the place. I know TSM, Kat, as well as Ari, and ETConnect, excuse me, they don't have the best weapon in the world, but it's still a situation that you're happy to be if you're TSM.
Yeah, I think they feel pretty comfortable here. I love what Ari does on kind of this aggressive positioning to push up and use the Viper utility to find herself space, but Benita finds just over the line, one onto Kath. Now it's going to be CLG advantage, but look where Ari is with the Judge. Great spot, great push. There's another in close on her, but she's going to be forced away for now. So we clearing space with the dog up through middle.
Taking her time here. Emily is kind of getting antsy, shotting the wall, and she's going to get one and gets traded by Zoe. CLG. A 2 versus 3 situation, not the best situation to be in, and they're getting flanked by Ari here. 50 seconds left though, so still a lot of room to play with.
Ari loves the flanks. The extremities are her home on this map, and every second that passes means the flank comes closer and closer. Yeah. Rise finds one, but still, where's the flank in this? It's coming up now, and the perfect time to stop the spike plant. And from the back line, Athena, is she only using the Bucky at this point? I guess she doesn't need a gun.
Does it seem like she need a gun after that SMG tube death, where she let CLG go in? She's been really doing a lot of work with it, but she's gonna be able to get a freebie. She's gonna be able to shop on the floor, get herself a Vandal, and bring it to next round. CLG though still on a bye here. They're winning that anti-eco. That eco round. They put a lot of money in their own pockets. It's not over. This game is really close. I really don't see anyone's running away with a momentum right now, which is really refreshing from last game.
Yeah, but speaking of momentum, look how quick Emily is up, but she doesn't connect. Still alive somehow. The flank from behind. However, TSM is getting everything here. 2 picks. Naomi, backline. Zoe for 1. So into a 4-on-2. Chobo trying to bide her time, hide behind the ramp. TSM have relented the aggression for now. However, look where Ari is. Up so aggressive. This wall means that she could be anywhere. Rise has no idea. And now her retreat will show the committal at least the thought to head towards the A site, but look at the Seekers stuff. That's going to give all the information TSM need if they want to close this.
And CLG Red really doesn't seem to be able to stop the aggression here from TSM. And once again, time is running low, and Ari trying to make a play. She's gonna fall, but just the fact that she was spotted is gonna cause that little bit of a doubt here onto CLG's mind, and they're gonna have to force this 8 bomb site as Shobo in a higher position is gonna be the first one to entry, but Cat here says no. Rise, can she win a 1 versus 4 at this point?
10 seconds or a little more, and she finds first frag. Again, Ari, a factor on the flank. No time left. She has to go to the knife. She has to run up. And Athena, this time on the rifle, is again the woman to close up the round. TSM, they're looking better. They look more themselves.
Okay, so you have to educate me here. Icebox is a new map for me. I know it's not new anymore on the circuit, but for me as a player, I haven't played it that much. Can you let the chat know a little bit about how strong is the CT side? We compare it to Dust2 a lot in CSGO, just a little bit like Ascent, but you know, TSM here with, as we head into our first spot of the game, as pause of the game, TSM here, how many rounds is a comfortable defending side for them to be adding into the attacking side?
I think that, so it's going to depend a little bit because of the comp they're running, because they run Viper and because they run Sky, which actually is going to be really strong on that attacker side. If they get a spike down, it's going to be very hard for CLG to win it. So I think if TSM find a 6-6 or even better a 5-7 in their favor, they'll be very happy. But, I mean, talking about that, I think that they have the momentum really in their favor. They have 3 rounds in a row. CLG, they're on a bit of a scrappy buy into this kind of some rifles, but everyone's on light armor, so it's a weird one. And TSM, I mean, the way they push, the way they aggress, feels like they're on the attacking side. It feels like they're always in control. Here comes the Hunter's Fury, though, and now there's not going to be a kill because, oh, it just doesn't hit. Emily still kicking it in the backlines. They have the Viper's Pit available, as well as a Resurrection, but now one player's gone. Benita has a great line to take care of Kath on her aggressive push, but here comes the Pit. That forces them off of B, and through the smoke, Benita. It's 1 on to Ari. So now, TSM in a tough spot, but Zoe on the refrag.
Ooh. I wonder if Benita overextended here. She was feeling it, but that is giving a lot of room for TSM to come back into this round, Mimi.
They really are. 3v3 now, a resurrection on both sides, but might not be directly usable. There comes the lockdown. Chobo up top, resurrection for Ari. TSM is committing, but where's Chobo? Good for 1. Animal in the back, she finds 2 as well. This is a 2-on-2 now, this is so close. And the Killjoy lockdown still bides time, almost attained, but no. Athena is still in it. They have a wall for the post plant. This could be huge with the swarm grenades bide time. However, Animal behind the box gets 1. She has to stick on to this, and the swarm grenades find it, and okay.
Naomi finds 2, Mimi. After the round has been won on top of it. But great round from CLG Red. Benita just capitalizing on the fact that she got the first kill and really exploding towards B, securing the bomb site while she was able to gain so much room for the rest of the team to really converge onto it. It was a little bit dicey in the end with kind of dying, but Shobu's position thankfully was able to get a double. CLG Red fighting 1 round, but do they still have the key onto TSM's defense? I don't think they still know how to win these rounds, Mimi.
Yeah, that is a good factor for CLG to try and figure out the consistency to get rounds on the trot. That one was so laborious for them to win it as it came down to the wire. Ari, she's defending more passively now. Will be forced away for the moment. Athena in position, looking for a shot onto 1. The trades through, though, from Ari. And here comes the snake bites to, again, force him away, but it doesn't even matter at this point. Spikes down, post plant established, flank a factor. There's 2 TSM players there, and the wall can cordon off where the spike is planted. What can they do from the backlines? Emily ready, but Kath falls on the site. Great angle, but can't find the shot cleanly. And Emily now, this game is given away. They know they're up the flank, and CLG, they're split. They have to fight 2 angles. And onto the site, Ari trying to peek through the wall, gets one onto the back of Yellow Animal, and she's continuing to push but doesn't find the frag. Zoe now in a dire situation and cannot do anything. CLG 2 in a row now.
Finally, CLG having an answer for this post-plant situation. That spike is down, but they still have a lot of map control. I have to ask, do you think if Emily doesn't shoot that player onto the flank and she tries to make her way a little bit closer before getting contact, would have helped TSM? Or if she waits for the push from Ari from the other side of Yellow Box? Well, we don't know. And at this point, TSM is hesitating. Are we buying? Are we not buying? I think we're going to go for a buy, scuff buy here. Seems like there's a little bit of a hesitation from TSM to know what to do, but we have at least 3 rifles here.
Yeah, they have a lot into play here. And look at this through mid. This is so aggressive from CLG, pushing up TSM. They're ready for this, but it's 1-for-1, and the Resurrection has an opportunity to come through. However, Benita still charging in. She is leading from the front as she gets her girls onto the site. Now TSM, 3v5 in the retake. Smoke off. Benita still getting aggressive, holding the dark cover. Athena on the other side. And Athena picks it up still. CLG, they hold the vantage. Gotta upgrade the skin real quick. Get more ammo into the bank as well. And Gap on the flank, flubs the shots, looking for it. She'll get it. But now she's known. And now they can be ready for her. Naomi down below. Snakebite doesn't hit, and the shots won't either. Athena gets her again. Annie Mall, one of the last 2 standing, gets one though. Now on the spike. Viper Wall cutting them off for the moment. So little time. CLG peeking out, and they get the kills.
And once again, I thought maybe Benita overstayed her welcome after getting, like you said, leading from the front, getting these frags. I was worried maybe after peeking Athena onto Heaven, that was a little too much, but in the end, the rest of her team is able to close these rounds. She knows she can trust the girls on her side to close these post-plant. 3 in a row from CLG. Look, we were giving props to TSM for being so aggressive, and once they stop doing that, this is where CLG in return is really just running in and winning into these, I want to say gimmicky plays, although it's not really gimmicky, but the leer from Benita has been helping.
Naomi, the double entry. That's so big for her team. Rise is teleported onto the site, and they'll be able to get the spike down. So for CLG Red now, tough turn of action. Athena in the back line. Chobo for one. These retakes haven't been working very well at all for TSM, and it's happening again. They need to find a way in here. Emily, just the sheriff in hand, some utility work with as well. They're not being given an inch, no space in. Swarm grenades up. She'll boost over with the wall, but look at the peak. It's out at once. So coordinated from CLG.
Yeah, we don't see a TSM retake really coordinated. I'm going to steal the word you just used, but, you know, they're not really using their utility. They're not really using together. I mean, as a team, they're not really focusing on retaking map control. They're kind of stuck in a corner and really allowing CLG to take all the room that they won and really breathe out during these post-plants. We are 2 rounds left into this half. TSM is gonna full buy here. What do they need to do? Maybe I think they need to go back to the aggression that was working so well for them, because CLG is just running, literally running into the bomb sites right now.
I mean, what works for CLG is that once they get in a post-plant, TSM can't retake. That's what they struggle with. They haven't found a solution at all. And it could happen again because CLG's already up the site. And they find the opener, Naomi, almost on the spray transfer, but Rise is there to aid her. Athena wants a fight. They don't want this in a post-plant, but it's happening again, Steph. Repeatedly, CLG posture themselves well. Kath does find one, though. And a resurrection in play could be impactful, but the wall keeps them away, keeps it slow. Kath wants to push up. There comes the res. Kath up top now, looking for something, but there's a player lurking, waiting directly below her, and she'll strike. That's Annie Mall for one. The Seekers are up, but they're not giving the information. Ari aggro for one, can't find another. Chobo has the trade, and Zoe's on the site. So is the rest of TSM, but they're still being dissuaded off the site. Sage alive in the backlines. Annie Mall for 1 and 2. How did she get that many there?
How did Animal stay alive? She was completely isolated from the rest of CLG. There's so much walls, smoke, slows in between her and the team. She did everything that round. The fact that she got the kill on Cat, first of all, the fact that she wasn't cleared is already problematic. But then she gets the kill on Cat and able to connect with 2 more and staying alive into this round. What a great display of VALORANT here, coming out of Animal. Back-to-back maps. She's impressing me.
Yeah, she's been so impressive. I mean, oppressive too. She's shutting stuff down for TSM. And TSM, they're trying the aggression, but so is CLG. They have routed each other.
Yeah.
Roles reversed. Attackers, defenders. And Ari's in the dark. Cover could go huge here. 1. No, not even a second. That could be it. That's so unfortunate.
What is this
but now
round?
Athena has a line. This is such a weird round as you say it. They're all the way in Snowman. Flanking onto B. Athena just has a Spectre. Ooh, it still gets a shot. It's rough though. A second as well. Athena, that's massive from her. Emily helps out, but still dancing around the wall over to the pistol. And Rise finds it, but she takes so much damage as a result. Left in the clutch here. CLG in a tough spot. The Boom Buddy chasing her, and so is TSM.
Okay, that was the weirdest round ever. So, if I'm reading this well, CLG's Red's counter to the push from TSM has been to rush, and it's been working. But TSM here doing that push again for the first time in a long time ended up being on the attacking side, while all of CLG Red was in the defending side, and everyone was running away from each other. It was so chaotic. And in the chaos moment, CLG Red hasn't been showing much progress, but you might be cracking up in chat. I'm cracking up. This is a great round where we're heading into the half number 2. CLG Red on the defending side as we look back at some of the highlights of the first half. And they're ahead by a couple of rounds. Not enough to be too scary for TSM. You know, you win a pistol and then you can come back pretty easily into the scoreline. But still, if they do win the pistol, this could be a repeat of what we just saw from TSM.
I mean, TSM, they're pretty good at pistols. I feel like that's a sentence that most Valorant fans never expected to hear, but at least TSM female, they're pretty darn good at picking these up. They found a lot throughout this series, and that's been the one thing they're consistently good at. But now they have a better footing, and as you mentioned, especially if they can pick that up, there's a good chance for them to build into this and take us to a third map.
I want to talk about Animal too, because I don't know a lot about her past, but I know that she is a really heavy streamer. And one thing that is important to see, when you're a streamer, you're used to playing under pressure. You're used to playing with spectators. So she's coming in today and I cannot see her nerves. She's playing this as if she's streaming. She's playing this as if there's already 10,000 people watching her. Because on her stream, it happens a lot that she's getting critiqued and people are watching her. And I cannot feel a single display of nerves coming out of her, and I'm really liking. She potentially have a really bright future if she's able to be not just a Sage main, obviously, but to be able to flex into other characters, something that we haven't seen this weekend. But also maybe that's not something CLG needs. Props to her right now. She's doing a lot of work.
Yeah, I mean, she's doing a whole ton of stuff for the team, and that's what CLG brings. They bring consistency, they bring fortitude and experience. And TSM, that's something they've struggled with a little bit. I think the mental game, while it's strong in some places, it's faltered other times. And this pistol round is going to be huge, but Emily opens it up with the nade up above. The raise is over, distracts Rise enough for Kath to have it. So plant down early on, and look at who's still alive. A Viper in the post plant, but Benita still does damage, takes care of Emily. Annie Mall ready on this retake. Benita still alive up top. Wants something here, but the wall makes them only able to go up one way. They have to break that at some point this round. CLG trying to fight their way in, spots out one, but the dash away. Lear to continue the pressure, to continue to allow them to force into this, and Zoe takes care of Naomi. But Benita, actually good for 3 in the round thus far. A 2-on-2, and Animal another, but Ariana is still alive. Will the Viper, it didn't hit. It didn't hit, Steph, it's over. That's it. CLG Red, they have the pistol.
Benita with Arena. How did CLG Red win this? TSM did everything right. The fact that when Jet When the Jet and Raze got into the site and overwhelmed both of CLG's defender, that was after that a 3 versus 5. But one by one, Benita was eating away. I have to say that because she's Reina. So she was drinking away the bloods of the enemy, getting one at heaven, and then keeping using, you know, her devour and healing herself, and just was so good from CLG. TSM was pretty upset about losing that round.
Did the snake bite bounce off the wall? I think that's what happened.
I
think it bounced off the wall. That's just like that's a miscommunication that very well could lose them the series.
Oh, that's really unfortunate. Ari was almost ready for that clutch.
Yeah, I mean, they might be able to convert again. CLG, they're an advantage here in the anti-eco. TSM trying to push up, trying to make it work here. But the Viper wall keeps CLG accountable. TSM up through the smoke, and there it is. That's just CLG converting the anti-eco so cleanly. They're 1 away from double digits again.
Yeah, and I like what I'm seeing here. You know, CLG just doesn't swing. They wait for that paranoia coming out of Rise, and then they swing. You know, that's a little detail so far in the server that I think that TSM needs to work on as a team. Obviously, they're just newer. But at the same time, CLG is new too. Like, their roster is a little bit like TSM, was done at the last minute. So I want to see TSM utilizing that Zoe special a little bit more. That the entries that we saw from both duelists, like, they need to put that into play pretty early to gain some ground, because CLG is running away with this game.
Yeah, they are. They're in a great position, but Kath this time gets the opener into the round. Naomi falling away, has swarm grenades to stop the plant that might be coming. In mid though, Chobo deals with Kath. Naomi still on the other side of the wall. Remember those swarm grenades to keep them off here.
Ooh, I thought this was going to connect onto Ari, but she loses most of her health but stays alive and loses the battle versus Benita. We're going to be in another retake situation. That's the story of this game so far in Icebox, Mimi.
It is the story, and here comes CLG on this retake. Rise through the smoke, and TSM contends with it. They keep 4 alive as well.
It was a little bit of a weird situation coming into this game. After CLG ran both first round into the second half, Naomi stayed on the pistol, if I'm not mistaken, and I'm not sure why. You know that TSM is going to be buying at that point. You know, maybe they just really wanted to play that free round as far as they could, but it is what it is. CLG falling into a pretty okay round from TSM. It wasn't the cleanest, but it was a good one because they keep a lot of weapon into this round, and we're going to see our first operator onto CLG's side in the hands of Benita, coming in really early into this round, and she gets the first blood again against Emily. Not lucky today.
No, Emily, I mean, that's a huge factor that she hasn't been having a good game for TSM. I mean, she's normally that player that we can see at the top of the scoreboard, that we can see popping off, but it might be Naomi here. She gets one, traded through by Ariana, but Athena is up as well, ready. Chobo trying to push in and dies for it, but Animal is ready as well. No, Athena doubles down. Now she's close to the resurrection. Now she can find the site. Benita walled off. The op won't be a factor quite yet. Can she fit through this gap? No, not quite. So they're forced up towards heaven, and Ari is alive. She has her utility in the post plant. This time, she needs to be able to hit it. She needs to be able to find it.
I wonder if she's going to go for a flank here, or she's going to stay to clutch that round again with her Viper utility. But Benita, we are in her eyes. We are hoping for her to get a quick pick if CLG wants a shot at this game. Utilizing the Leer, she's gonna swing out and just get on it right away. Yeah,
she's holding here. They don't have her off. She's holding all the way down. The Viper is there, but she has the time. No! Athena shuts it down the last second possible. That was a pixel off.
I was clenching. I thought she was running away with it. I knew that the poison was not gonna kill her. So at this point, they need to hit her. And Athena getting that quadruple kill here is so huge. We mentioned yesterday how big she was versus Dignitas in the first 2 games in that BO3. In the server right now, 17 kills, leading the way on TSM side. She needs to continue being so dominant. Both Sage here today doing so much work for both teams. This is what I like to see.
Yeah, love to see it here. Benita on the peek out. TSM find 2. Here comes the Seekers, though, and there goes CLG.
Quick and easy. This round lasted 5 seconds, Mimi. There's not much to say. It was chaos in middle, and TSM came out on top. 98, though. The gap is getting closer and closer. CLG Red needs to watch out because they could be letting TSM gain back that momentum. They are on the defending side. It's supposed to be the easier side onto Icebox. So you do not want TSM to finally take a lead here. We have, though, both resurrections in play, so this could be a really, really interesting round as CLG is going into like some sort of a passive setup. We have all of TSM, almost all of TSM, 4 players running towards B.
Yeah, they're pushing this pretty quickly. Lots of ults in play. This could be a bloodbath on the site. Kath readies herself. She's the first up to bat. No, it's Emily charging on in up top, above. And she finds Animal for free. A second for Emily. Now she's hitting her shots. Now she's in the server to play. And TSM, they'll start to fall away into this post plant. Ari looking for something. She finds one. Athena's still on the site, trapped in this position. But she can fight. She can still be a factor here. Chobo pushing up. Look at the cloudburst. That completely covers Chobo. She's not going to check. And blindsided by Athena. Athena swings out. She is doing so much. TSM, they tie it up.
That was a perfect entry from Emily. I can't recall who she killed first, but that person was completely unaware that she made it all the way up above her. TSM finally writing the page out of this match, of this book of this match, because 4 rounds in a row. I think this is the most round they got so far into this BO3. It's going to force CLG to be on a small buy, and it's tie point. We're back to square one here. This hasn't been the case since 1-1. Mimi and Kat here entering right away on top of the tube. She's gonna connect with a kill, but Benita here replying with a double sheriff. Pretty much chaos here. There's players all across the map, but now Rise is in a 1 versus 3. The spike is not planted yet, but it's not a very good position for Rise to be in. She does have teleport, but I wouldn't use it right now. Picks up a weapon. And in that situation, you know, because TSM has been winning so much round back to back, you still want to potentially drop some weapons.
Yeah.
TSM not, Rise not successfully doing it here, Mimi.
Yeah, they're in a good spot now. TSM, they regained their advantage. They're on that attacking side. And this is where they thrive. They found 5 rounds on the trap, but look at Benita. She has the op up to play again. And if we remember, throughout the day, that has been such a good weapon for her. She's found so much with it.
Yeah, I'm excited to see if she can get that pick once again. And you know, you take your chances. Is she gonna get it on to Emily? Yeah, who knows? But we have a CLG 3-man stack at A, and that's exactly where TSM is heading at. So looking forward to see what's going to happen into this round as Animal puts up her wall really, really quickly and gets blinded twice, and TSM just running in, and she's going to be a gunner. Emily successfully getting the first entry frag once again, Mimi.
Yeah, here comes the Hunter's Fury. And the Killjoy are locked down as well. CLG, they want this round. They want to fight for it. They don't want to let this slip to a third map. Rise wary of a mid position. Emily falls away, and TSM, they lose ground, but they hold it to a 4-on-4. Resurrection could be on the cards. And they'll disengage, cut noise for a moment. Where will they end? Where will they commit? Because if we look towards B, Benita's there with the op. They're fine leaving her alone for at least now. One player going to pick up mid. And CLG's just waiting for the possibility of aggression. They want CLG to get antsy.
And that little bit of a pause is where CLG was able to capitalize onto TSM's attack. But as we see that res that we expected, TSM is going to regroup. They now have 30 seconds, so they have to pick a side. There's no more time for hesitation. So that
They're trying to rotate.
that Emily is gonna be on a fake while the rest of
It's working.
TSM is rushing towards B. Benita, though, giving much more ground for them to get into the side. Is she gonna keep that line of sight? And she does. She gets the first kill while we're still on Emily. It's happening. The action all across the map, left and right. And Benita wants
If
to
she
stop
stops
that
plant.
spike plant. Can she do it?
Oh, TSM. Now they have a post plant. They've done everything right. And CLG has to clutch it. Emily's Lurk still finding frag. She has 3 already. And Rise is the last woman standing up on top, diving into the depths of the smoke. They know she's in there. They want to hound her out. And the owner of that smoke, Ari, picks it up. What a play. What a confident play from TSM to rotate so late.
Yeah, I don't know what I think about the Benita pitch. I guess she figured out, like, hey, if I get this person out, we win the round no matter what. But at the same time, if she falls and the spike is planted, it's now a really tough retake for her team. So I don't think it's a 50-50 here. I don't know if you take that chance. But looking back in hindsight, unfortunately, we have to say that was a wrong play. But who knows? We might be in a different situation if she gets that kill. But it's back to square one for CLG. How do we stop that TSM attacking side? They're at high point here.
Oh, there's Benita getting aggressive and dismissing it away. Takes some damage on her way out for the troubles, but TSM have so much space. They have most of B site, barring the site itself. Benita's still a factor in main. And then, look, that's where the spike is, Steph. If she gets the spike down here, that could be huge. But no, Zoe fights out. So does everyone else. TSM doing everything but Animal for 2. Another chance for 1, and she has support in. That's Chobo. They're making this work. Zoe has to clutch. She's done it before. She'd have to do it again. And the Seekers are up. Spam through. She peeks out. Quick shot from Zoe. Still a minute on the clock. She knows exactly where her opponent is. Chobo bides her time. She's looking for something. Recon. Great information. Now the peek up from Zoe. And she cannot do it. So close. But CLG, they clinch their way away from match point.
I really thought Zoe was going to win this. The way she killed Animal here at the end. Also, TSM getting 3 kills back to back. And then the waves come back onto CLG's side with Animal getting the double and being supported by Shobo on the side. Again, Animal doing so much when they're down numbers. CLG Red able to come back into these rounds with the double kills that she's getting. She might be at the bottom of the stats here, but the impact frags that she's getting is tremendous. But on TSM side, Ari, Kat, Athena are doing so much work. I don't think CLG Red still has an answer on their defense. They got a little bit lucky here that Animal was able to get a double that quick.
She really bailed them out. She might have single-handedly kept them in this map.
Yeah.
1 round gap only now, Steph. So close. Everyone knows it. Benita's here. She doesn't have an op. But she has one better, a judge. Holding a line. They're pushing right into her. They lazily check on it. And she can dismiss away, but she goes right into Zoe's hands. Kath catches Animal. She wanted to be a hero again. She wanted to push. And now CLG has advantage. Chobo wants a shot, wants to deny the plant, deny the post plant. And the spam's good to find Athena, but still one escapes. And still, the one who escapes is Ari. That's huge that she's alive in a post plant. She has her mollies. They have to go quickly to nullify the Viper utility. Zoe in the smoke, she's holding close off of yellow. Chobo wants to come in here, but no one's playing in. No one's playing on the site. They just need to stall for time. And TSM, they need to go quickly. Zoe's so low, has to peek out. TSM 1 and CLG, that's Naomi for a couple coming up behind. Kath, the last standing, wants to fight this, but the time so low. Is there enough? There should be. CLG, they do it again by the narrowest of margins.
This was so impressive from CLG. After we saw that poison being dropped, that snake bite from Ari onto the bomb site, I really thought this was it. This was winning so much time for TSM to play around, stay alive, and not really fight CLG because they couldn't get on the spike. But for some reason, they took these battles, and CLG came out on top. And this is why we're at 11-11, Mimi, just because of these back-to-back rounds that CLG is able to win by the edge of their teeth. I don't even know if that's an expression, but I'm just gonna create it if not.
Gotta get creative, because this is probably the most important round of the series. The TSM, they find the opening, pick Emily. Again, she's sending herself quickly upwards, the Seekers, to allow her that space in. She's in the backline. She only has a Bulldog and Animal down low as well. Emily going crazy. She gets one frag on the opener. CLG now down 3-5. And this time, TSM are holding the site. They're holding tight. Chobo stunned. She's in the open. A terrible position, but she's spared for now through the cloudburst. Chobo will find Zoe. Bonita, though, up top. They can crunch onto the players on site. Emily needs something here. Needs to keep going. Chobo pushing all the way up. Emily now in this dark cover. They're diffusing, but she's going to come out, and she could come up huge. One for Emily, looking for something more, but it's awkward in the smoke. Rise trying to fight, and it's the Molly and the frag from Kath to bring TSM to match point.
Match point, and TSM just getting a freebie, rushing into the V bomb site, not really contested at all. So I don't know. Maybe CLG was planning on doing the retake, but losing control of that tube area under the tube and whatnot, and not really able to get out of kitchen really hurt CLG's retake. So if you want to play defense, you have to solidify that map control, at least right outside the bomb site, so you don't get pushed back. So TSM playing this really well, and they're swapping it up. They're rushing towards A, and CLG Red was trying to do the counter of what just happened, and we're gonna have to see a retake toward that A bomb site this time, Mimi, as all of TSM is just rushing in. But CLG is aware, and Spike is not planted. We have all the players converging onto, and even Bonita setting herself up for a flank.
Yeah, the Hunter's Fury does damage, doesn't stop the plant though. Athena has it in the ground. There is, however, an ult in play, and there's a frag advantage for TSM. Here comes the lockdown. Still let them on the site. They know they need to go fast, because again, that Viper is always in play, always a threat. Running away, just the narrowest lines up top now. Chobo stunned by the dog, and Emily for one. Now she's peeking out so blind. CLG, they want overtime. They want this, and Zoe might be working on it. Rise for one, Animal another, and now it's Rise across the board. 2v3, they're so close. But TSM, they find it in the final round of play. They will take us to a third map.
We have a third map, Mimi. It was a much closer affair. TSM winning, but not winning in the greatest of fashion, but still a win is a win. And we're back to square one. The third map is going to be the decisive map. One of these two teams is going to get knocked out of the tournament while the other progresses into the lower bracket. So many great things happen, but also so many really chaotic situations. I remember one round in particular is coming to mind where it was such chaos, but TSM able to regroup. It was looking grim earlier into this half. Both teams kind of falling on their defending side.
Yeah, I mean, that was the struggle for both teams here, and I think that, well, there were some rounds that squeaked by. I think what TSM brought out in the way of that Viper play from Ari was really big. I think they did what we wanted them to do. They got aggressive. They took CLG by surprise, but CLG still, they didn't sit down. They didn't go to sleep. They were in the game the whole time, and honestly, up until just like the last second, till the last round, I thought that they were going to win it, or at least take it to overtime. But no, TSM, they squeak by, they pass for now, and as you mentioned, that's a third map, a decider to say who can even stay alive here. And I don't know, going into that one, what do you think, Steph? Who could win that here?
I think at this point is a coin toss. Both teams are displaying a little bit of weaknesses as well as strength, but I think what we saw in Icebox is potentially what we're going to see on the next map. A really close-sided affair where teams are exchanging rounds back and forth. And Mimi, I'm super excited because both teams are going to be confident going in. CLG wants to repeat what they did onto Split, but TSM now knows that they can beat and can take away a map out of CLG Red. So I'm looking forward to this map number 3.
Yeah, absolutely. And that third map will have to be Haven. We'll have to see who can squeak by, who can stay in it. And we'll have to find out after the break.